You're listening to the Hella Well with Danielle show, a podcast taking women of color on a journey exploring all things wellness and travel related. We're all about showing you how to put on your oxygen mask first and creating lasting self-care habits that will free you to travel the world and live the life you truly desire, and not one you have to fake loving. I'm your host, Danielle Washington. Now let's buckle up and start this journey. Welcome to the Hella Well with Danielle podcast, your weekly mental vacation from the daily grind for busy women who just need a moment to pause, breathe, and woosah. I'm your host, Danielle Washington, and today we are talking about unbecoming. Unbecome. The word become, definition, I love a good definition, is to begin to be. So what does it mean to unbe? That's the conversation today. But before we get started, I always love to do a little bit of breathing exercises, and I feel like today feels like a good day to just sigh it out. So we're just going to inhale deeply and audibly sigh out of our mouth. So we're going to inhale deeply and sigh it out. Inhale deeply and sigh it out. One more time. Inhale deep, 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 deep. Hold and sigh it out. It's a good way to just kind of reset the nervous system and get your mind and your body kind of connected back and grounded into you and the earth. And that's what I like to do before we start any of these episodes, is kind of get us grounded in. So we're tuning into this space that we are in and that we're creating like a sanctuary for all of us to be here during this time frame. So unbecoming. When I think of unbecoming, I automatically think becoming. And when I think of the word becoming, I think of Michelle Obama. Like, I love her book. Becoming was probably one of my favorite books to read. That was just a kind of simple read, but so powerful. Such a powerful book about her story and her journey of becoming, beginning to be Michelle Obama. It's like, wow, that's pretty big. And I think it's equally important to talk about the unbecoming process. The process of not being, unbeing what I've been. And that's where I am when I think about my healing journey and what I've been going through and what has really helped me. I feel like I'm this hard-boiled egg and I'm cracking the protective shell that has had me thought I was being protective, and it had kept me protected. It was my survival mode, but reality, it was starting to feel caged as I was beginning to unbecome. I was beginning to remove all these different layers and realizing any remnants of the old layers was starting to feel uncomfortable. And so I've been in this space of unbecoming what I was conditioned to be. Unbecoming the negative beliefs and limiting thoughts that I was telling myself or other people told me. Unbecoming what I thought life was supposed to be. I've been unbecoming being a fixer. Unbecoming being a people pleaser. Love that one. Unbecoming hiding from my life's purpose and my gifts. Unbecoming someone that doesn't feel worthy of love and boundaries. Unbecoming a victim. I spent most of my life being a victim and feeling that's how I found my value. Because I feel like if people felt sorry enough for me, they would like me, they would value me. And through this process of unbecoming and shedding some weight that just starting to feel real heavy, I shed the weight of being in victim mode. I've been unbecoming a know-it-all. I don't need to know everything. I don't need to let people know that I know everything. There's still moments, sure, they still pop up because it's still remnants of this person that I used to be, that I felt like I had to be. I've been unbecoming, constantly needing to be there for everyone at any moment of my life. I had a situation just yesterday where someone called me in their panic mode of, you need to jump now. This is urgent. You need to do this. I actually had 3 people do that to me yesterday. And I thought about it. I sat with myself for a second. I'm like, no. Not one of these 3 people who are telling me this is urgent, you must jump now. I was like, no, that's not where I am. I've unbecome where I need to jump because someone says, you're the responsible one, jump now. I'm unbecoming needing to be busy. I love days where I do nothing. I love days where I talk to no one. And I don't feel so guilty about it anymore. I like unbecoming feeling guilty about doing not a dang thing. Because I now know that that's how I refill myself. That's how I recharge myself. And that I need those moments. But there was a time where, oh my God, you're not doing anything. Who are you? What are you bringing to the table? Are you even worthy? Should you even be on this planet? That's what would pop in my head. I've been unbecoming the need to be or say what others think I should. And that right there has just been beautiful. When I think of the first time I kind of learned about this or heard someone talking about this phrase of unbecoming, one of my coaches, Precious Bivens, has this TED Talk that she did. And I remember being really powerful. And she talks about it in her coaching program about unbecoming. And I'll make sure to put it in the show notes, a link to that TED Talk. But I just remember like not getting it. I'm like, oh, that sounds cute and all. Until I was in the process, because in the process of healing, I thought I was trying to become. I'm trying to become this person who isn't a fixer, who isn't a pleaser, who isn't in victim mode, who isn't needing to be busy. I was trying to become that person. And I was obsessive about becoming that person, obsessive about becoming, quote unquote, my true self. Not realizing in order for me to become, to begin to be, at first I need to unbecome. And so I think about this ideal of emptying your cup fully to where there, like say you had this cup and you had, something that you really hate to drink, like whatever it is. Like, I don't know, as a kid, my mom would make us drink cod liver oil and just straight. So like now people have the pills, but we were drinking it straight. And I'm like, this is the nastiest thing in the world. And every morning that was what we drank. And so I think about that. So say if that was in the bottom of the cup, there's still remnants of it. And then you try to put something I like to drink like guava juice. Well, I'm still going to taste that. So we need to empty our cup of that nasty thought, that nasty negative moments, those things that we're trying to unbecome to be. Emptying the cup fully, which means letting go of what we thought we knew until this point, letting go of what we thought was true until now, and emptying that cup fully so you have the full capacity and space to begin again. And that's what unbecoming is. It's emptying that cup fully so then you can fill it up with the beautiful, most yummiest drink life can ever give you. But even with that, there needs to be balance. Just like I was saying, you can focus in on becoming and needing to focus on I need to be that new person. We can focus in and become obsessive of unbecoming, of shedding all these different things and of the past. And I'm not going to be that person. I'm not that person anymore. I need to shed this. I need to shed that. I need to shed these people. There needs to be a balance. And so to help you with some balance, I was like, well, what have I gone through? And what are some questions that may help prompt people through this process? When I kind of think of unbecoming, I think you first start dealing with the origins of your conditioning. What are you kind of unconditioning yourself to? And so I was thinking about, okay, I was going to start there. What beliefs or behaviors did you adopt because they were expected of you by society, by family, by peers, or by the limiting beliefs that you're holding on to? How have these beliefs or behaviors impacted your life? I think about my situation. Oh, man. I think about what it means, what I felt like it meant to be a Black woman in America. What it felt like to be my parents' representative of their value and trying to live up to that heavy expectation. Then I think about the process of just unbecoming. What habits and beliefs and behaviors have you had to let go during your healing journey? And how did you recognize that these things were no longer serving you? I don't think I always recognize right away. For me, and again, this is me, this may not be your process, but for me, it's sometimes I didn't realize something was no longer serving me after I was already unbecoming that. The aha moment sometimes came after I already was in that process of unbecoming. But finding out, and asking yourself, how do you recognize these things? When do you, what are signs that you're unbecoming something? And I think that helps. Also, the rediscovery process. As you shed the layers that aren't truly you, what aspects of your true self have you rediscovered or embraced? How does that feel to connect with that genuine version of yourself? Where I am today, and I'm okay where I am, because I feel like I'm not unbecoming to become. I think I'm unbecoming to be. And I guess you think become means beginning to be. Well, I don't know. I'm going with the fact that I'm unbecoming to be, meaning I'm unbecoming to be present. I'm not unbecoming to get somewhere else. And there's times where I feel like I am and I have to check myself. But when I'm being intentional, I'm unbecoming just to be present, to be comfortable, to reflect and be happy in this space. And as I'm in this space of connecting with this genuine version of myself that stands here today, who may be different a month from now or a year from now or 5 years from now. But in this space that I am right now, and I'm being able to connect with her because I spent 40 plus years not connecting with her on any level. It feels good. It feels peaceful. A peace that I didn't realize that I was missing in my life. And that's part of the personal growth. And the other part of asking yourself, how has this process of becoming affected your relationships, your career, and your overall happiness? I definitely know that in this unbecoming portion of my life, in this part of my healing journey, I've become a lot of friends because I realized that these weren't my friends. I've ended relationships. I've ended feeling like I had to, the roles I had to play in relationships. I may not ended all relationships, but I've ended the role that I felt I was expected to play. It's changed how I show up in my career. It's changed my overall happiness. Like, I feel good. And I don't always feel like I have to strive, because there was part of me who felt like she had to become. Michelle Obama became, so I gotta become too. Now oftentimes I'm in the space where I'm just really okay with just being and feeling the beauty of letting go of some weights that have been weighing me down when trying to be everything to everyone else. So I ask you to ask yourself, what's the most valuable lesson you've learned from letting go of who you thought you should be? What's the most valuable lesson? And what is it that you need right now in this very moment? What's one thing that maybe you need to unbecome a little bit more? We're in this powerful period of, you have the 1010 portal, you have the solar eclipse, and you have all these other things. And even if you have no clue what any of this stuff means, because honestly, I know, but I don't know. I don't know enough to be talking too much about it. You may be feeling different things. No matter what you are feeling or knowing about, just tap into the fact that this may be a great time to focus on, what can I unbecome to get to a point where I feel just maybe 10% better, and focus in on that. That's all I got for you today. I will talk to you next week. Ciao.
Thanks for joining us this week on the Hello Well with Danielle show. Make sure to visit our website, hellowellwithdanielle.com, where you can subscribe to our show on iTunes, Spotify, and Amazon Music and never miss an episode. Also, you can follow us on social media at Hello Well with Danielle on Facebook and Instagram, and Hello Well Danny on Twitter. And if you like hella love the show and got some good nuggets out of it, know that I'm not too proud to ask for you to please leave a rating or review on iTunes so that we can continue to expand our reach and help other women of color. Again, thanks so much for listening, and I hope to see you next week. Ciao.